The cash disbursements budget looks a little bit like actually a lot like the cash collections budget, except usually in a cash disbursements budget, it's only over a 2 month period instead of the collections over a 3 month period. And of course, us being good people that we are, we never not pay somebody. And so we're not going to have an unpayable account or something like that. So, the disbursements is slightly easier. Um, so let's go back um, to our purchases budget. Remember, this was our production budget, and then this was our purchases in units, and then this was our purchases in dollars, right? So we'll go back to that January, February, and March. So we've got 76080, 66080, and 75920. Now, just like with the collections, you needed 2 months before. With the disbursement, you need 1 month before. So we're going to go back to December, and I'm just going to make up a number here off the top of my head. Remember, December was a big month, so let's just say 90,000 worth of purchases were made in December. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. We'll make our matrix January, February, and March. And we can do an accounts payable column here. And we'll do December, January, February, and March. And let's say that on average we pay, because we have 30 days to pay, we pay on average 25% in the month of purchase, and we pay 75% in the month following the purchase. Okay, so in January, we're going to pay 25% of 76,080. And so that will be 19,520. And then 75% will be 58,560. And of course, that we don't have anything in accounts payable. Then February is 66. So 25% of that is going to be 16,520. And then 49,560. And no accounts payable. In March, we're going to have 25% of 75,920. Is 18,980. And then our accounts payable is going to be 56,940 at the end of the period. And then in December, we're going to pay 75% of December's in January. So 90,000.75 times would be 67,500. Again, we just add these all up. So we'll pay 97,020 in January. $75,080 in February. and 68,540 in March. And then we'll have the accounts payable of 56,940. So if we were to look at the quarter disbursements, we would have 240,640. But remember, that's not the only cash that we're going to pay out. We also have, that was our purchases for materials, but we're also going to have from here our direct labor costs and our variable manufacturing overhead costs. Okay, so that one is generally fairly easy. We probably pay 80% of both our variable overhead and our labor in the month that it's incurred, and then 20% in the following month. So in this case, we can add these up. All right, and so we've got so we've got 1,152,000. Whoops, 1,152,000 plus 172,800 would be our January. Would be 1,324,800. So we're going to pay 80% of that in January. Is 1,059,840, and 20% is 264,960, and none in March. In February, we've got 984 and 147.6. Gives us 1,131,600. We won't pay any of that in January. We'll pay 80% in February, which is 905,280, and 20% in March is 226,320. And then March, we're going to have 1,128,000 in the payroll, and variable manufacturing overhead is 169,200. That gives us 1,297,200, and we'll pay 80% of that, or 1,037,760 in March. And then we'll have an account payable of 2,059,440. Of course, we're going to have something left over from December. I'm just going to make up a number here. It looks like let's say 275,000 that was left over from December. And so we get 1,334,840. For February, we get 264, 960 plus 905, 280 is 1,170,240. And then March is 226, 320, and 1,000,000 is 1,264,080. And then we can bring down our accounts payable. And of course, then with just these 3 months are our cash disbursements for labor and variable overhead. All right, so now, well, let me leave that there, and the next video we will do the cash budget.